Jane Unchained live with Renee King-Sonnen of Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. We're having a virtual hoedown for a hay barn. She needs one for her cows. Let's check it out.
Over here at Rowdy Girl, the hay's running low, and we need a hay barn for the hay to go. The cows need a shelter to run to from rain. Giving Stormy's name to our hay barn campaign. Hey y'all, it is cold out here. It's been raining and these cows need a hay barn. We need to fill it up with hay for the winter. They need a shelter that they can run to when it's raining. When we moved from Angleton, y'all, we had to leave all of our shelter behind. And now we need to build a barn. We need to get started. Please help us. We have a $25,000 match. That means dollar for dollar. Your donation is doubled. So donate today and get your donation doubled. When that happens, it's going to unlock that $25,000, and it's going to be awesome for all the residents of Rowdy Girl. Peace out. We love you.
What a beautiful, beautiful song. Renee King-Sonnen, tell us about your need for a hay barn for the more than 100 animals you have there at Rowdy Girl Sanctuary in Texas.
Yeah, we are climate change refugees, as you coined us several years ago. And it's been truer than ever. We've been running from floods for the last 3 out of 4 years. We finally landed in Welder 2 years ago. And we were fleeing a flood then, Jane. When we finally bought this property, we thought we would have a couple of months to move. And then lo and behold, a week later, it flooded again. So we were scrambling to evacuate one more time, all the animals to Welder. And, we don't have any shelters for the cows here. We don't have a hay barn. We barely had, fencing. The animals were having to live kind of like they were in a feedlot at first because we only had a little bit of area for them to stay contained in to keep them from going into the cattle ranchers areas that are around here. And then we had a generous donor when we moved here donate $30,000 so that we could get a perimeter fence because we didn't have anything. And we're building. And I hope and pray that one day I will have a medical treatment facility in the name of Stormy so that we can actually take care of cows and large animals like they're meant to be cared for the rest of their life, not as if they're food.
What a beautiful message. Again, everybody, Renee King-Sonnen needs help for the Rowdy Girl Sanctuary in Texas. I am on the board of the Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. I know the incredible work they do. Renee's story is absolutely extraordinary, and she has really been able to go around the world really explaining to people that cows are extraordinary individuals. And let's check out a little bit of her story. Again, please donate to rowdygirlsanctuary.org so they can get an urgently needed hay barn.
Thank you. I was hanging out at the house and Tommy said, there's a couple of calves up the road that don't have a mama. They need to be bottle fed. How about you go look at them, and maybe you'd like to, have a couple babies, here at the house and bottle feed them. I thought that sounds cool. I wasn't working at the time. I was just being a housewife, hanging out, doing what I wanted to do. And so I went to see these babies and I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute, little bitty calves, so cute. And so I bought them with my own money. There was 2 of them. Bobo was one of them I named, and she died very young. She had some sort of disease and, didn't make it. And the other one was Rowdy Girl. That's the one I named Rowdy Girl. And she was indeed rowdy. And she would run me twice a day for that bottle.
and I would feed her, and she was so cute, and I just loved this baby. And what happened, I never had any kids of my own. And Rowdy Girl was kind of a, I don't know, she kind of touched something in me. That maternal instinct that I never really felt before. And I loved her. I still love her. And what happened was she was my entrance into seeing the other cows.
Such a beautiful story. It brings tears to my eyes. And now you have this incredible sanctuary in Texas. Tell us the story of some of the other animals. Let me put this beautiful, beautiful animal up. Tell me the story of this beautiful, beautiful being.
That is Grace. You know, and if we don't tell their stories, then what difference do they make in the world? That's the way these animals are treated. But Grace came to us by way of a cattle rancher's wife named Mary. In fact, Mary and her husband Vernon were just here a few days ago and are donating to our hay barn campaign. They came out to see Grace and Randy. They live in Huntsville, Texas, and they were in San Antonio visiting their kids. And they contacted me and said, "Can we come by and see Grace and Randy?" See, this cattle rancher's wife found Grace on their cattle ranch a few years ago with the umbilical cord still attached. They didn't know how Grace ended up on their property. But what Grace was a blessing to Mary. Mary started bottle feeding Grace, much like the way I bottle fed Rowdy Girl. And Mary loves Grace with everything in her. She loves Grace. And Mary and Vernon sat at our kitchen table. They've been there 3 times talking about what we eat. And, you know, Vernon kind of snickered and he said, "I ain't vegan yet." He said, "Yet." He said, "But I tell you what, I really do love the work y'all are doing."
That is so beautiful. Again, I'm donating. It brings tears to my eyes. These animals do not just exist on their own. We need to help the people who are helping them. They've rescued them from factory farms, from farmers, ranchers' wives, ranchers' kids who have said, "No, don't take this one to the sale barn to slaughter." And now you have more than 100. They eat. They need hay. And Rowdy Girl Sanctuary in Texas needs a hay barn. So let's meet some more of these beautiful, beautiful animals. You can help. This is an incredible holiday gift that you can give to those animals, to the planet. You could do it in the name of a relative. That's what I'm going to do. As soon as this is done, I'm donating. So let's watch. Such a beautiful relationship you have with the animals, for whom you care. Tell us about the need for this hay barn.
Sure. You know, and y'all, every dollar is doubled up to $25,000. We have a generous donor that has stepped up and offered us this matching donation. So, you know, if you're looking for a way to really make a difference, it would be so appreciated. But the hay barn, the reason it's needed so desperately is because right now we are storing those round bales. We need at least 300 round bales a year to feed the Rowdy herd. And that's if, we have mild winters. If we have really bad winters, it's going to go up from there. And so we need a barn, just like what's on the screen right there, to store the hay under. And then we're going to put a shelter lean-to on the north side of the hay barn so that the cows will have a place to run to if it rains or if it's hot or if it's too cold. And then if it's really, really bad, like it was last year when we had the snow apocalypse, we will move that hay out and let the cows in the barn. But, we have to start somewhere. And this is where we start, is so that we can, imagine your family at home in your comfortable, 2,000 square foot home or whatever it is. Imagine needing to shelter 120 animals. Imagine, or 120 people. Imagine needing to store the food it takes to take care of your family if you had 120 people living in your home. Imagine the shelter that you would need for all of them. This is not going to cut it long term. This is a start. We've got to start somewhere. We're starting from the ground up out here. And as a 501c3 nonprofit, it is my job to not be too proud to beg. The old Otis Redding song, Ain't Too Proud to Beg. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing that, but it's for them. It's so that they can live their life free from harm, free from the elements. And so I can take a deep breath and sit down with my family over the holidays and know they're okay.
I know how hard you work, you and your husband, Tommy, around the clock. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Tommy is your partner, and I know you put him to work. You're the boss, Renee, but you have him working around the clock. Tell us the story of one of the other animals. Here we have a rancher with a beautiful little animal. Tell us this story.
Well, that's Buster. And Buster also came to us by way of a cattle rancher that had a change of heart. The interesting nuance about our activism as vegans and former cattle ranchers is that cattle ranchers actually listen to us. They may not go vegan that moment, but we make incredible impact on them because we get to talk to them about the fact that they too love animals. And I get to say things like, yeah, it's a bitch, or pardon me, it's really difficult to love animals and know you got to kill them, isn't it? And, whenever I'm able to say stuff like that, these cattle ranchers just go, man, I don't ever like to think about that part. I just like to think about the fact that they only have one bad day. And then I remember my husband, Tommy, saying that, over and over, our cows only have one bad day. That's just not true. They have lots of bad days. The memories
Renee,
that these animals.
What I wanted to say is that you have changed so many hearts and you are doing such incredible work. Each one of these animals is an ambassador. Tell us about Stormy. Tell us Stormy's story. Because this entire fundraiser is in honor of Stormy, who you're looking at right here, who was blind and who recently passed away.
Stormy passed away actually in 2017. It's only now that I'm able to tell her story. Stormy was rescued from a breeder. Her name was Tammy, and she bred Maine Anjou cows. That's what Stormy was a Maine Anjou. She was blind. You can read her whole story on our website, but her mama was named Mama Cow. That's what they called her, or Big Mama. And Big Mama, for whatever reason, could not nurse Stormy. And because she couldn't nurse Stormy didn't get the vital nutrition she needed, and she went septic. And that septic toxicity went to her eyes, and she was blind. It stunted her growth. She was very weak. when I got the call from Tammy, Tammy was, said, I hate to admit this, but she's confined like she would be as if she was in a bill crate almost. I'm scared to let her out to run around or even try to because she can't see. She's very weak. She can hardly stand up on her own. And so I took Stormy in, and Jane, I love Rowdy Girl to pieces, don't get me wrong. But Stormy Girl became a daughter I never knew I could have these kind of feelings for, because Stormy Girl needed my attention every single day, 2 hours a day. I went out with Stormy, and I put my little arms under her, and I would raise her up, and I would let her feel the ground, and I would hold her up so she knew she was safe. And as her muscles began to fire and her nerves began to fire little by little, she was standing on her own. And I began to walk step by step with her. And I did this every day, not just once or twice a day, and nobody else did it. Every day for months, I was her surrogate mama. And I walked with her, and I talked with her, and she was blind and she didn't know where she was going. But I would walk her right up to the edge of an obstacle so she would know it was there. And then we would walk around it together so she would know it was there. And so the day I let her go off of her lead and I watched her go hang out with the big girls, tears streamed down my eyes because I knew that I could watch her from my kitchen window and my baby girl was going to be okay. And when we had to move from that flood, it was horrible because I had to uproot everything that baby knew. And I had to move not only her, but 80 more animals. And so my attention was so diverted. And little Stormy Girl got pneumonia. And the beauty of what happened to her, I had to euthanize Stormy at Texas A&M. But the beauty of what happened to her was I got to be a witness, to doctors, to veterinarians. And I got to say things like, I won't pay that bill unless you take food animals off the top of it. I got to educate them on how animals aren't food just because you call them that. That doesn't mean they are. And that's the reason I want to one day build a state-of-the-art medical treatment facility in the name of Stormy.
We are talking to Renee King Sonnen, who is the founder of Rowdy Girl Sanctuary in Texas. Extraordinary place, home to more than 100 animals. She is a former country singer and cattle rancher's wife. She turned her husband Tommy into a sanctuary worker, basically. And they've both gone 100% vegan, and they are spreading the message that there is a way to cherish these animals and that each one is an individual. What about this one, Renee? We are raising funds, by the way, for a hay barn. They desperately need a hay barn. There's a $25,000 match. I am donating. I hope all of you donate. This is a beautiful holiday gift, a great way to celebrate truly the spirit of the holiday, to be of service, to show love. These animals desperately need, obviously, hay. Tell us about this beautiful animal, Renee.
That is Sweetheart. And she is a sweetheart. That one will, if I'm out in the middle of the herd, I don't have to go looking for her. She comes looking for me. She wants love and attention. She was born at Rowdy Girl. She would have been one of the ones that we would have sold to a sale barn. Her mama, I think her mama is Agape. I'd have to look at I have a family tree of all the ones that were born here. And, I remember when we were first going vegan and we were separating all the babies, and Tommy was really wanting to I was vegan, he wasn't, and he was wanting to get these animals, into the sale barn. Animals like Sweetheart here that are so loving, that are so sweet, that are so kind and gentle, would have gone and stood in those lines where they hear the sounds of all these animals being completely slaughtered mercilessly. That's their one bad day. And, these animals love their families. You can watch them hang out with their mamas and their sisters. One of the things that just opens my heart and makes me know that I'm doing God's work is when I see families together. that normally would have been split up without a thought. These animals that are family with each other, they hang out together. Even after they're years and years old, they hang out together. And that's a miracle.
We are talking to Renee King Sonnen, who is the founder with her husband, Tommy, of the Rowdy Girl Sanctuary in Texas. It's an amazing place. And Renee and her beautiful animals are ambassadors for a kind, compassionate way of living that's better for the planet, better for the climate, better for our human health, and of course, better for these incredible animals. Thank you, Renee. Everybody donate. I'm donating. You donate whatever you can give, whether it's $25, $5, $100, $100,000. Do it. There's a $25,000 match. And let's wrap up with the great song that you produced for this, Renee. And I wish you, everybody watching, and Renee and your beautiful family there in Texas, a wonderful holiday season. So we are going to wrap up with that. And I do hope you all open your hearts and your wallets, because these animals need hay, and the hay needs a hay barn. And that's why we're having a virtual
That's right.
hay barn. Woohoo!
Over here at Rowdy Girl, the hay's running low, and we need a hay barn for the hay to go. The cows need a shelter to run to from rain. Giving Stormy's name to our hay barn campaign. Hey y'all, it is cold out here. It's been raining, and these cows need a hay barn. We need to fill it up with hay for the winter. They need a shelter that they can run to when it's raining. When we moved from Angleton, y'all, we had to leave all of our shelter behind. And now we need to build a barn. We need to get started. Please help us. We have a $25,000 match. That means dollar for dollar. Your donation is doubled. So donate today and get your donation doubled. When that happens, it's going to unlock that $45,000, and it's going to be awesome for all the residents of Rowdy Girl. Peace out. We love you.
And you can donate by clicking the link on this video, or you can go straight to rowdygirlsanctuary.org and donate. And as we wrap up, I want to say, Kim Delgado said, cows are just like dogs. So my little Rico here says, please donate today and be absolutely generous, because those cousins of mine, those cows over there at Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, need some help. They need hay, and the hay needs a hay barn. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy holidays.
Thank you. See y'all. Appreciate you so much.